What's good, everyone? Accent Boy here, back with another video. So recently, couple months ago, I did a video on this dusty ass fake pastor out of New York who basically got robbed for about $1 million of jewelry in his church. And however, he's making headlines today, and he's making headlines because this dude got arrested for basically scamming one of his so-called church fellows out of $90,000 out of her retirement to help her buy a home. And not only that, this so-called dusty ass fake pastor also promised a so-called businessman if he also how should I say it? He also asked for a $500,000 loan from a businessman. And however, this dude been scamming those individuals. And let me show you guys the video on the news, and then we come back and chop it up.
Visited the courthouse. I was able to ask him if he will be delivering his Christmas sermon, and he said yes. But when I asked him if he had a message for his parishioners, he only smiled. Bishop Lamore Whitehead leaving federal court dressed down in a white hoodie and camouflage pants with Fendi kicks after pleading not guilty alongside his attorney, denying the allegations of fraud against him. If it's accurate that you're going to be in church delivering a sermon on Sunday ahead of the holidays, what can you say to your parishioners who support you? The Brooklyn pastor, known for his luxury attire during sermons as the head of Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries, made headlines back in July when police say masked robbers held a gun to his head during a live stream service and stole $1 million worth of jewelry. Arrests were made in that case.
We feel that he is being targeted and he is being turned from a victim into a villain.
But Monday morning, Whitehead was arrested on federal charges laid out in this indictment for allegedly swindling a parishioner out of her life savings of $90,000. He's also accused of extorting a businessman of more than $500,000 in exchange for favors.
Bishop Lamore Whitehead is not guilty of these charges. We are vigorously going to defend these accusations.
Right now, he's facing 2 counts of wire fraud, 1 count of extortion, and 1 count of making false statements to the FBI. Bishop Whitehead has 1 week to pay that $500,000 bond. Outside federal court, I'm Calorama.
All right, so there you guys go. Basically, this pastor been scamming a lot of people, and I really don't understand how a lot of black people keep on falling victim to a lot of these so-called fake pastors promising these black people, oh, if you give this so-called, you will get this in return. Like, how dumb can a lot of these individuals in the church be? And this lady is really dumb for giving this so-called former jailbird $90,000 out of her saving so this dude could purchase a home for her. And why don't you go to a real estate agent instead of dusty ass pastor who been charged for fraud back in the past and scamming, and apparently he still is doing it under the quiet? Look how this so-called pastor dressed in so-called expensive Gucci suit and expensive jewelry and expensive cars. What do you expect? Because I guarantee this so-called little church that he have with all of y'all in Brooklyn is not making him all that money. I guarantee this dude is still scamming. You go on this dude Instagram, look at him, look at the lifestyle that he live. Not saying that he doesn't probably have other investment, but come on, why would you take your money and give this so-called dude to purchase a home for you, knowing that he's a fraud? You know what I mean? And this is why I can't wrong a lot of people when they don't go to church, because a lot of these so-called people who are in church, they are the biggest hypocrites and fraud. And this is not the first time we're hearing stuff like this, where pastors are scamming their church, or even having intimate relationship with people from the church. You know what I mean? And this dude, as they say, he's ordered back to pay 500,000 back to one of the businessmen. So you know this dude been going around and telling lies just to gain some money from individuals. And it will be your own kind robbing you. This woman, I guarantee she worked hard for that life saving of $90,000. It might not be a lot to a lot of individuals, but it's a lot to many. Like, this dude don't even care about his so-called church. It's all about his flashy lifestyle for him and his wife. And it's sad that these people in the church are victim. But same time, could you blame him? If you see a bunch of suckers in front of you who would fall victim for anything that he say, you can't blame them. You can't blame him. And this is why I can understand when a lot of people don't go to church and when a lot of people don't give offerings, because you're basically taking care of the pastor lifestyle. You know what I mean? Jesus, let's think about the people. Jesus didn't charge any of his so-called followers and disciples any type of money to hear the church, the words of God. So why are these pastors charging money? Some of these pastors charge money talking about it will go back into the church. Yeah, right. Years pass by, you see no improvement in the church, but you're paying these so-called pastor bills and paying for their lifestyle. And it's just a shame that you have this dusty ass brother out here scamming his own church. And also, once a scammer, always a scammer. Look at this dude. And it's so sad that the mayor of New York is actually friends with this dusty ass dude, or even back him. They know what's up. They know what's going on. This dude's a fraud. And you know the funny thing? People are still gonna rally behind this dude, knowing that he's a fraud. I really don't understand how nobody in his church cannot see that. And it's just a shame. So people, just let me know what you think, man. That's my little 2 cents. Like, comment, and subscribe.